Hey guys, what's up? It's Patrick here, and today bringing you guys a brand new video. And in this video, I'm going to be covering the Super Bowl commercial. If you guys did not know, I actually had a little half-second cameo in it, where you guys probably saw like half of the left side of my face or maybe my shoulder. But overall, it was one of the coolest things I've ever done, being able to see Liam Neeson, to see the whole entire shoot. And I wanted to tell you guys about the entire experience from day one, from when they invited me to the shoot itself, and then to actually watching it. And in this video, I'm just going to throw on some cool Clan War raids and sort of just tell you guys about how it all went down. So back in November, Supercell hit me up, and when they did hit me up, they actually didn't tell me what was going on, but they're like, yo, we've got something really cool for you. We can't tell you what it is, blah, blah, blah. And I had no idea what they were talking about, but they kept teasing me for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I would ask like every other day, and I had no idea it would possibly be to be in a Super Bowl commercial. I don't even remember what I was guessing at the time, but it wasn't anything close. Maybe like going back to Helsinki or doing something like that and visiting the HQ. And then finally in early December, they hit me up and they said, hey, do you want to be in a Super Bowl commercial? And I took like half a second to think about it. I wish I could show you guys the Skype conversation, but I was like, let me check my schedule, ... Of course, yeah, I would love to be in a Super Bowl commercial. So I was super excited about that. I couldn't believe that they were asking me to do that. And but I didn't know anything about the commercial itself. They kept it really, really vague on the details. They said that I was going to have like a dress rehearsal for what I was going to wear in the commercial. And then there would be the shoot itself. So I would go up to New York twice to do the filming. And the first time I went up, they set me up with these guys. Forget the name of the ad agency, but they're these really cool guys who've done all of the Clash of Clans commercials. And they were really stoked about it. They showed me the storyboard of what the commercial would be about. So, of course, you guys saw the commercial. If you haven't seen the commercial, I'm going to throw a link in the description below because, unfortunately, we're not allowed to post it on our channels. But the commercial is sort of about a bakery and someone saying that they want revenge in Clash of Clans. And I was like, yeah, that sounds interesting. But they didn't tell me who the celebrity would be. I was sort of just left out in the dark, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to be the guy at the cash register that just does his thing at the Pekka Cafe, and yeah, that'll be really cool. So eventually, over like the next week or so, right before we shot it, they finally told me about who was going to be in the commercial, and that's when it all clicked for me. I was like, oh my god, this commercial is going to be so sick. They picked the perfect celebrity, and I've watched like all the Taken movies. I really like Liam Neeson as an actor a lot. I don't even watch that many movies, but I always tell people about The Unknown and Taken as being like 2 of my favorite movies that I've watched recently, I guess, or like sort of the newer movies. So I was stoked that he was going to be there at the shoot. And eventually, the couple of days before Christmas, they flew me back out to New York, or I actually took a train for the first time, which was really cool. And we had the commercial shoot. And it was really interesting actually being able to be at the shoot and seeing how it all went down, because I had never experienced anything like that at all. Obviously, my videos creation value is me just like sitting in my room playing Clash of Clans and doing videos. I had never been in a full out shoot where there's just like 20 cameramen. We were working with a world-class director who actually worked on the Old Spice commercials that everyone loves. So it was really cool to see him and talk to him during the rehearsals and stuff. And yeah, so the day that we shot the commercial, so we woke up at 5 a.m. and the commercial was supposed to shoot till 6 a.m. And we got ready. There was a cafe that they rented out and transformed into the Pekka Cafe for the event. And right across the street, there was a church which they rented out as well. And that's where everyone, like the crew and the extras, would hang out until they actually had their part where they shot. So overall, even though it was a minute-long commercial, there was about 10 hours of shooting that went into it. And people just kept saying their lines over and over and over. AKA Liam Neeson said his lines over and over and over. So they sort of set it up. And I mean, that cafe was extremely small. I don't know if you guys have been in like a super small New York cafe before, but it probably fit about maybe 50 people that could fit inside of it, side to side, and we had 35 people inside of it, and you couldn't see that in the commercials. You could only see the people in the background and see Liam Neeson, I guess. But on the complete other side of the cafe, it was just filled with all these people, with cameras everywhere, with wires everywhere. Like, it was the most chaotic thing I've ever seen in my life. But anyways, yeah, we started shooting the commercial. In the beginning, they filmed like a certain part of it where it was just Liam Neeson, so they didn't need me or the other guy that was one of the bakers who actually handed out the scone. And finally, they called us in. We sort of got in our positions. And if you guys saw some of the first cuts that we did, initially, they didn't tell me anything about what I was supposed to be doing. I was just this dude standing behind the counter. I guess I was the cashier. And they're just like, stand there and do nothing. And if you look at some of the takes that didn't make it, it's literally me standing there looking like an idiot. A lot of the Supercell commercial, or a lot of the Supercell people saw that. And they kept bringing it up to me about how dumb I looked because it was really funny. I just stood there, and eventually I asked the director, I was like, yo, do you want me to do anything instead of just standing and waiting for a customer? Because it was a really, really awkward delay, and that's obviously why they didn't use any of those cuts. And eventually he's like, all right, you take these cookies right here, take them from the table, put them underneath the table, and that's going to be your job. So that's sort of what I did. I did that, and then I talked to this older guy who was like pretending to be a customer. And a really cool thing that I learned that I didn't know about commercials. At first, I thought they edited the commercials to where you couldn't hear the other people talking, even though they were really talking in the background. But actually, you're supposed to do something called miming. So instead of actually saying words, I just had to lip sync like I was saying something when I really wasn't. And if you guys have ever tried that, it was sort of interesting. At one point, I was actually still saying things really quietly, so they had to like tell me to shut up. You're like interrupting Liam Neeson by just making up all this stuff. So yeah, that was really interesting. I didn't know about miming before, so I sort of just mimed that I was some cashier at the bakery. Again, you guys can only see a really small part. You can literally see half of my face, but we did so many different cuts. Unfortunately, they didn't have my entire face in it or anything like that, but it was still a really cool experience, and like I don't care at all that I don't care if they included my pinky in a Super Bowl commercial. It was still such an amazing experience. And as far as Liam Neeson himself, I'm sure a lot of you guys are interested in that. Super, super cool guy. He's like asked us a couple questions when we were on the set. The guy that I was next to is reading a book. He asked about the book, and we talked about that. Really serious. You could see he's like really serious in his face and getting into the lines and knowing exactly what he needs to say. And he's like chewing a toothpick the whole time, being totally badass, just like he is in the movie. So just like a really, really nice guy. Like you could chat with him if you wanted to, but there wasn't a lot of time to in between the cuts because we would just roll the cuts over and over and over again. But during certain down times, we would just talk to him. And of course, you don't want to fanboy or anything, but just like ask him how he's doing and stuff like that. And like how New York's been. He like talked about he had like a house that he was hanging out for Christmas because it was right near Christmas time that we were shooting it. So we talked a little bit about that. And yeah, he was overall just a really, really nice guy. And then finally, after we were done with all the shooting, we had a chance to take pictures, and so I talked to him, and eventually at the very end, it was me, Liam Neeson, and then I think 4 or 5 people that worked at Supercell, and we sort of just talked about Clash of Clans in the game, and he said these exact words. He's like, hey, by the way, I downloaded the game maybe at like 3 or 4 a.m. at night when I'm on these long trips. I'm going to play it. Do you guys have any places where I can get tips? And you guys wouldn't imagine how quickly I slid into the conversation. I was just standing there. I wasn't saying a whole lot. He's like, yeah, do you guys know where I can get tips? And instantly you can see me do like a suave maneuver and swoop in and say youtube.com/play Clash of Clans, Google Chief Pat. It's like I said something really stupid like that, and like everyone cracked up. And he's like, all right, Chief Pat, that's what I need to look up, Chief Pat. I was like, yeah, if you look up Chief Pat, you'll find my YouTube channel, or Play Clash of Clans. You can put it on the browser or whatever. I wish I had a business card to give him. That would have been so much cooler to give my business card to Liam Neeson. But hopefully he's looked up at least one of my videos for a guide. I don't imagine that he's still playing, and I know that his name actually isn't Angry Neeson 52. So if you guys are looking for an Angry Neeson 52 that's pretending to be him, you won't find him. But yeah, Liam Neeson, really awesome guy, really serious about his work, but he was definitely really nice to everyone around, and it seemed like he had a lot of fun shooting the commercial. It was really cool, and it seemed like from what Supercell told me that he was totally down from right when they told him the script, and I feel like it did a lot for him. I mean, the commercial was rated the #1 commercial by Billboard.com, and it received pretty much an A in every single Super Bowl grading website that I've looked at as far as the commercials go. So yeah, the commercial was a huge hit. I'm actually out in San Francisco right now because Supercell wanted to watch the commercial with me. So I met up with all the developers. Of course, I asked them a bunch of questions about the next update that I'm sure you guys are super interested about, probably more interested in that than this. So I got to learn a lot of really good stuff about that, which I'm really excited for. And yeah, we sort of just hung out. We did some cool stuff during the week. We saw a San Jose Sharks game, and we wanted to watch the Super Bowl together and really just like show what it was. So it was great. They rented out this they rented out the studio, and I don't know how much I'm allowed to tell. I don't want to like ruin all their fun Supercell surprises that they did, but it was really cool. We all watched the Super Bowl together. It was about maybe 50 of us to 70 of us in this big room, and you guys wouldn't imagine the excitement when the commercial came on. Like I don't know about you guys, I bet you guys got stoked as well when you saw the Supercell, like the brrr noise that pops up whenever you start up your iPhone or iPad or Android or whatever, when you start up Clash of Clans. So right when that went on, the entire place was just erupting watching the commercials, and right when it ended, like, it was insane. People are screaming, yelling, everyone cheering. Everyone was super excited because they had put so much work into doing this, because a lot of the pretty much the San Francisco guys, they do a lot of the marketing side of Clash of Clans. So they were really excited after working for months on this project, putting it all together, putting together the shoe, getting Liam Neeson. Of course, it was a big struggle to get Chief Pat, half of my face there. No, of course it wasn't a struggle for that, but it was really cool to see all those guys really happy about what they had done. And obviously, as you guys have seen, it was, in my opinion, the best commercial of the Super Bowl. I know I tweeted that Victoria's Secret was a honorable number 2, but yeah, it was really, really a sick thing to be a part of, and it was super, super cool. So once again, I guess first of all, I want to definitely thank Supercell for bringing me out there and letting me hang out in the Pekka Cafe. I know I was talking about it on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, guys, I got a job at Pekka Cafe. You're going to see it this Sunday. And people were thinking that I was going to quit making YouTube videos or something, and I was just cracking up because I was just hinting about the Super Bowl commercial. But it was a really, really fun experience, and it was definitely something for the bucket list. I know I'm definitely going to show my kids that when I'm older, be like, oh, there's old Chief Pat in one of the Super Bowl commercials. You can see half his face right there working on some cookies in the background. So yeah, it was a really, really sick time. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. It's such an amazing experience. Again, thanks Supercell to do it. Thanks Supercell for letting me be in it, I guess. And thanks to everyone for being really cool about it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the commercial. It was amazing. It was really, really hard to keep secret from you guys. I mentioned it in some things. Like, I know in my mailbag video, people asked if Supercell was going to do more commercials. And I had known about the Super Bowl commercials. And I was like, yeah, I would imagine they would do some soon. And I made up some sort of BS answer when really I knew they were going to have Liam Neeson in a Super Bowl commercial. So it was a really, really fun thing to do. And that's pretty much it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any other questions about the shoot or shooting the commercial or anything behind it, definitely drop a question in the comment section below, or you can hit me up on Facebook or Twitter. I can probably include that in my next Clash of Clans mailbag video, so feel free to drop those below. But overall, it was sweet, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys later. Peace out.